The first theory that I'd like to share with you is one of my favorite theories as well. It is known as flow. It was created by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, and this theory suggests that there is a state in which humans go to whenever they are fully concentrated on a task and time seems to quicken or stop, and they wish that the moment will never end. And the process is actually more pleasurable than the result. So Mihaly actually went to research and study different people, just like rock climbers, dancers, ballet dancers, chess players, and basketball players, and so on and so forth. And what he found is actually, especially with mountain climbers, because I have a friend who actually do mountain climbing, and when he actually told me that after some years doing rock climbing, he find that the process of climbing gives him more joy than actually reaching the top of the mountain or the top of the rock, whatever he's climbing. And which is actually the same as what Mihaly found in his research. So this is not a state of just being in enjoyment of the moment, but it is also a state where one is fully engaged, and actually in this state you are also most productive. So there are actually more to this, but I will try to share a simple way of applying this in your life. Okay? So the idea is the more you are in this state, the more engaged you will be in your life. Got it? So the more you have yourself being in or experiencing this state, the more engaged you will be in your life. And this state is actually known as flow. Now let us look at this diagram and understand a little bit more about flow. And as you look at this, there is two axes, one for challenges and one for abilities. So what flow theory suggests is as the abilities grow, or as challenges grow, the abilities also grow. And for you to be in flow, the challenge and the ability, the challenge of the task and your ability must both be high. So recall a time when you were so engaged in an activity or task that nothing could distract you from it. Spend a moment to think about it. What was a time when you were so engaged in an activity that you could not be distracted at all? What was it? Okay. For me, it's working sometimes, and because I do a little bit of music, so when I record my music or compose something, I really can focus fully and nothing can distract me. And once I'm done, it's like, oh, time has passed so quickly. It's already midnight, that kind of scenario. So what was it for you? Okay. At that time, let me ask you, were you anxious? Okay, no. Were you relaxed? Not really, okay. Were you bored? Also no. Or were you enjoying it so much that it motivated you even more, that you wanted it to continue on going and you wanted to do more of it? Now that is one example of you being in flow. So when the task that you were doing required a high skill level and was quite challenging to do, and sometimes playing a game or writing a journal or cooking a favorite dish would bring us into that challenging kind of task, you were actually experiencing flow. This was a time, I'm sure, that you actually felt good, then you performed very well, and you enjoyed every moment of it, didn't you? So in any other situation, if you look back at the diagram that is shown, for example, a low skill, when there is a high challenge, you will be anxious because you can't complete the task. You'll be very stressed and very alert, no? So the other areas when the challenge and the abilities are not both high are anxiety, worry, apathy, boredom, relaxation, or arousal. So research by Mihaly and other researchers actually show that by creating more flow experience in your life, you are also more likely to experience peak performance. I repeat, the more you experience flow in your life, the more you are likely to experience peak performance. Positive emotions, increased levels of commitment and achievement, greater engagement, and even leadership development. So I think it's worthwhile to think about flow and actually apply it in our lives. So the next time when you feel stressed or when you're not engaged in your work, you can think of it as either the challenge or the task is too high or your skill level is too low. But of course at work you cannot tell your boss, oh, the challenge is too high, my skill is too low, don't give me this task anymore. So what can you do? You can actually upgrade your skill. That's why the next step is to increase your skill to match the level of the challenge presented by the task. Alternatively, you can also look out for more flow-inducing activities and do them to be more engaged in your life. So think of these activities right now, and later in the next section, I will tell you how to test and see whether these activities that you have chosen are flow or not. Okay? Good.